I was looking at Norman Rockwell books, and one thing I noticed in his world and the way he approached visualizing and character is there's two sides to Norman Rockwell, which I could see in this movie clearly. There's the poor side. He did a lot of imagery of children that are from the dark side of a town, but he brought heart to every time you'd see an image that he would draw up. You could see the heart in it, and I don't know. We recognize our past in it. There's a sense of then is always very present, and then there's the family side of Norman Rockwell's work, which was the Christmas, the family going to Christmas, and the presence of that, and the middle class of the 50s. So those two things I felt were very strong in our story. And I said, if I tell you 1970s or 1980s, we're locking ourselves in. So I said, let's give ourselves a time window in which this whole story takes place. The important thing is that anybody watching the movie feels it happened to them when they were a kid, even in 20 years from now. So, you got to think about that. And I said, our town needs to feel charming, warm, middle-classy. I think was important because I needed the contrast with the Herdmans. Not too specific. The generic aspect was really important. All graphics, signage, all of that. I want to keep away. I said, we want to keep away from anything that states now. What will the audience think about this movie? It really depends on who's watching the movie, I think. And I mean, if you're from a religious background, you are going to identify with this, no doubt. If you're not, you are very much going to identify with it because of the Herdmans. And that's what's so wonderful about this story, is that it's not preaching, it's not pushing an ideology on you, it's making you understand that nobody should be left behind. These Herdmans, they're as much people as any other, and if you give them a chance, you'd be surprised by what they can bring to the table. And I love it because I identify with them a lot more than I identify with the other characters in this story.